welcome back to my channel. I'm Debbie from Debbie's World. How are you doing? So I've had a little idea for a recipe using one of my Spice and Ice kits. There is a discount code below if you wish to purchase them. So what I've done is I've got some chicken and some other ingredients, and I thought rather than using it just to make a flavoured chicken pack, I'll make a chicken and bacon pasta bake. A bit like Cajun chicken that everybody always goes on about. The one I have to use is the sriracha chicken, which is sea salt, paprika, garlic, chilli and black pepper. Of course, it does, as usual, come with the normal instructions on the back, but I'm just going to do my own thing with this, which I'm going to show you. So I went on the website, the Slimming World website, and searched for chicken pasta bakes, and I came across this one, chicken and bacon pasta bake. If you follow this recipe to the T, which I'm not, I'm going to make a few changes, it would serve 5, ready in less than 2 minutes, and 2 sins a serving. But as I say, I'm going to make a few changes. So what you'd need for the stock recipe, the one which I will try and link below, is 1 white onion, a red pepper and a green pepper, well I've got red and orange, a garlic clove, I've got lazy garlic, half a chicken bouillon cube, I assume that means like an OXO, dissolved in boiling water. Well, that's where I'm going to add my spice kit instead of a stock cube. Low calorie cooking spray, which is just to fry off your meats and your veg. 150ml skimmed milk, I am going to use that. And for me, that will be the only sins in this recipe, because I'm not going to use some of the other things that have sins. So 150ml of skimmed milk is about 2.5 sins. So at the most it'll be half a sin per serving. But to be quite honest, I am going to probably add cheese to this recipe. But what I'll do is I'll just add a bit less cheese, and it will count towards my Healthy Extra A choice for the day. So for me, it will probably work out as entirely sin-free. But if you do want to add the sins, you can add the 150ml of skimmed milk, 35 grams of corn flour, which is more sins. But I'm going to use this xanthan gum, which is sin-free and similar. I'll probably use about a teaspoon just to thicken the sauce. It says 2 times 225 gram chicken fillets. Well, I've got 3 largish chicken breasts here. 485 grams, so that's probably about right. 225 gammon steak, 225 gram gammon steak. Well, I got this, I think it's 600 gram gammon steak, and I've just cooked it, so I probably won't need to fry this off, but I'll see what it's like once I've chopped it. And obviously there's going to be leftovers for other meals. I just cooked that following the instructions because I just felt like it needed cooking. But you don't have to, you can just chop it up really small and fry it with the chicken. 210 grams of dried pasta. I've got, what have I got here? Penny pasta. 100 grams of fat-free yogurt. You'll need salt and pepper. It always needs plenty of seasoning added to Slimming World recipes. 2 tablespoons of fresh chives. I've got some dried ones. And here are some more sins. 1 level tablespoon reduced fat creme fraiche. Well, I always have quark in the fridge, so I'm going to use quark. But obviously if you want to use creme fraiche and count the sins, it will probably make it really quite tasty. But as you can see, I've already had to buy quite a few ingredients, and because I always have quark, I'm going to use quark. So the first thing we need to do is chop the peppers and the onion. So now I've chopped my vegetables, I'm going to cut up my chicken and my gammon into chunks, removing all visible fat. I'm actually going to do this recipe in in more than one stage because I need to go and collect my mum. So I'm going to chop these up and keep them in separate bowls in the fridge until I'm ready to do the next stage. So yeah, chop up my meat and that'll be ready and prepared. Just look at this gammon. That's amazing. That's just a gammon joint from Sainsbury's and I've cooked it for about an hour on 190, wrapped in foil, and then for the last 15 minutes or so took off the foil, and it is beautiful. Yum yum. Right, so I'm ready now to proceed with the next steps of the recipe. So I've got my chopped peppers and onion in here and I'm going to put that in the larger pan. I'll scrape that out in a minute. I'm then going to add a couple of teaspoons of my very lazy garlic. Obviously it also depends on how much garlic you use. And I'm also going to, in the smaller pan, fry off my chicken. So I'll come back to you in a few minutes. Well, my peppers and onion have been frying for a few minutes. I'm going to add my 150 ml of skimmed milk. So I've then got about 100 ml of boiling water, and I've added to that my Sriracha Spice and Ice kit, and I'm going to also add to the water a small teaspoon of this xanthan gum. And if we need to add more, I'll see. Let's see how it goes first. And I'm going to add that to the milk mixture. I'm also going to add salt and pepper. So you want to stir that for a few minutes and you'll see it thicken. We might need to add a little bit more water yet, I'm not sure. But we'll see how we go. But that is definitely thickened up. And then I've got my browned off chicken here. I should have probably cut it up a little bit smaller than that actually, but hey ho, we'll go with it. And I'm going to add my chicken. And I'm going to also add my gammon that's been pre-cooked. Apologies, I appear to have lost some footage. So at this point you want to weigh out your pasta, 220 grams, and put it on to boil for about 8 to 10 minutes in some salted water. So yeah, enjoy. So I've now took my sauce off the heat, my chicken and gammon, and I did splash a bit more water in, so you'll just have to use your own judgment. Probably another 100 ml or so, and you can see it's taken it and it's thickened up. So I'm going to add in my drained pasta, cooked that for about 8 minutes. Then going to add, it says 100 ml of fat-free yogurt, fat-free Greek style yogurt I'm using. I'm not really going to measure this because I can't be bothered. So I'm going to put 3 good teaspoons in. hold on a moment. And it says 1 level tablespoon of reduced fat creme fraiche. As I said, I'm going to use quark. If you wanted to be accurate with your sins, you would have to use your creme fraiche and make sure it was a level tablespoon. But I can add a bit more quark than it says. Make it creamy. I've lost my lid, but never mind. And then it says 2 tablespoons of fresh chives. So I'm just going to give it a really good sprinkling of dried chives. And I'm going to stir that through. Now, what the recipe says is heat this through gently, but I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it instead. So what I've done, excuse the beeping of the oven because I've got things on the hob, I have separated the pasta bake into 5 portions. These will, when they've cooled down, will go in the freezer, and this is the one I'm going to eat right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it with my 40 grams of cheese, my Healthy Extra, and I'm going to pop that under the grill while I knock up a quick salad. So how I've made it will be completely sin-free. You just use a little of your Healthy Extra A choice for the skimmed milk that you've added. But you, of course, can follow the recipe that I will link and use the sins as it advises. So I'm just going to pop this under the grill now. Right, so here we are then. Here is my sriracha chicken and gammon pasta bake, topped with 40 grams of cheese from my Healthy Extra A choice, served with a lovely salad, and that is entirely sin-free. And obviously you can make it just with your own spices if you want to, or if you want to purchase the Spice Entice, then do check out my discount code. So I'll give this, which is in the description box below, so I'll give this a taste and then come back and let you know what it's like. Well, good evening. I can say that was absolutely delicious. Really, in fact, I've still got some on my chin. Really delicious. Really enjoyed it. It was really creamy. You can add more quark if you want, more yoghurt, because they are free on the plan. I did initially think the serving was a bit stingy, but actually, having eaten it, bearing in mind I was absolutely starving, it's really filled me up. So I think actually 5 portions is quite sensible if you use the same amount of ingredients, because obviously it's got a lot of meat in it. It's got chicken and gammon in, bit of pasta, and I added the Spice Entice Sriracha kit, which gave it a real kick of spice and flavour. Now you of course can add whatever herbs and spices you want to. You can use another spice kit, another flavour, or you can use your own herbs and spices, or you can just use, if you don't like spices and seasonings, you can just use an OXO cube or a stock pot, and maybe some mixed herbs, and just do the same recipe. But it was really nice. But while we're on the subject of Spice Entice, they have now introduced a vegan range. So they've got 3 new kits. They've got the vegan Sri Lankan curry, vegan shepherd's pie, and vegan enchiladas. And for a limited time, you will get 1 free kit with any order. And of course, you can use my code for 20% off, DBF20. So they've sent me this Sri Lankan curry to try, so I might do that at some stage. So the ingredients for this are, what's actually in it is coriander, cumin, onion, fenugreek, garlic, ginger, turmeric, cinnamon, black pepper, cloves, bay, cardamom, paprika, chilli and star anise. And it says to use a small cauliflower, butternut squash, 400ml of coconut milk, which would have sins, green beans, frozen peas, onion, garlic, vegan stock, lime juice, cooking oil or local spray, coriander, cherry tomatoes and steamed rice. So that's the Sri Lankan curry, a vegan. So yeah, as I say, those 3 new kits are out now for vegan, the Spice Entice vegan range, and you'll get a free kit with every order. And if you want to use my code, that would be brilliant. Check out the description box. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you try my Spice Entice style chicken pasta bake. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.